What is up, ladies and gents?
Nice. You mute. You're on mute, ZJ.
No, he's not on mute. I don't know what's going on.
Cue the intro, Sach.
Well, I can't hear you.
Can anyone hear me? What's going on? Can you hear me?
Bro, why are you saying what are you doing? And then I do it, and then you're
Can you hear me?
Yes, now we can hear you.
Hey CJ, we need you at home when you're doing
What
this.
is good, world? Little technical difficulties on my end of things, but this is the BCS After Hours show, guys. We are live on YouTube, Twitch, as well as X. The fellas are in the house tonight. Got a little drink in our hands. You can join us. Let us know what you're drinking tonight. What's got you feeling right? Little snow day here up north. Sach and myself, and I know Witt's out there in Cali just doing his thing, guys. But here we are. Got some cool topics for you guys tonight, and let's get a quick roll call around the room. Of course, we got North Glenn's finest, as always, the Sach man in the house. Sach, how we doing?
Doing good. It's like you said, it's a good old blizzard up here up in Colorado. Lots of snow day, I'm sure, for a lot of people out here. So what's better than to talk about sports and chop it up with the fellas on a good snow day? First and foremost, I want to give a happy birthday shout out to an four-time NBA champion, two-time MVP, Finals MVP, multiple-time All-Star, the greatest shooter of all time, Stephen Curry. Happy birthday! The greatest point guard of all time. It's really not debatable when you're born in 1995 at least. So happy birthday to him. Glad to have him on board with the Warriors. The GOAT, in my opinion. That's my personal GOAT, but glad to have the boys here. Just wanted to pay my dues and respects to the guy, and let's have a good show.
There we go. Special shout out from the Sach man, and of course we got the man down below in the dark himself with that glass in his hand. We got the Witster in the house. How we feeling, Witt?
Cheers. Happy birthday, Steph Curry. Look, I'm inside tonight. I'm not in the dungeon. It's a blistering 58 degrees out here in San Diego. Nightfall is upon us. So I had to come inside tonight, put a hoodie on, maybe even crank the heat, get it up to 68, 70 degrees inside tonight. But you guys stay warm out there in Colorado, man. Cheers.
There we go. And as well, we got the money man himself with a nice big glass in his hand. How we doing, Big E?
Outstanding. Hope everybody's doing well. When the snow comes in, you break out the Knob Creek, about 90 proof. Just enjoy your day. Happy birthday to Mr. Curry.
Mr. Curry. Absolutely, guys. Again, we got the fellas in the house, and we are live on all platforms, guys. Got some cool topics for you guys tonight, as well as grab a drink with us. Get something in your stomach. Let's get it going. Toss us some questions our way. We'll always toss you out into the show. But let's get this thing rolling. Kind of wanted to roll around the room right now. A lot of things in the free agency market as we're kind of coming to the close with that. We'll start with Sach. Kind of what are we seeing so far after all the things that have occurred right now, Sach, man?
I mean, there's been multiple moves made. The Eagles have continued to load up. They just signed Devin White today. I don't know how that like he was saying last episode, they got a bunch of cap, still making moves. Cowboys have still made very minimum, very little. So it's disappointing, at least on my end. Another shocker that I thought that kind of went under the radar is you got Joe Flacco over to Indianapolis on a 1-year deal. They re-signed, I think, 5 current players locked up. So, over there in Indy, they're looking forward to, making this, an all-in type year. They needed a guy like Flacco that can go out there and sling the pill. I mean, just a bunch of stuff that has been happening. There's just so much to get into. I kind of want to see what you guys got on it. But Joe Flacco, I think, was a good pickup for Indy. I like that. And, I mean, the Eagles are just – I see them winning the NFC East as of right now, just with all the weapons they got. News of Jason Kelce kind of poking at coming out of retirement already, saying he wants to play. I hope that doesn't happen because that's just even more of a nightmare for Cowboys and NFC East fans myself. But, I mean, yeah, I'm curious in seeing your guys' biggest free agency move since the last episode.
What you feeling, Whit?
I don't know that anything's big. I think Simmons still out there from the Broncos is surprising. Chase Young, obviously he's still out there. Out in the desert, you got Rondale Moore being shipped out to Atlanta for Ritter, backup quarterback. I think that means that it's a lock, barring something crazy, that they get Marvin Harrison Jr. As long as management does not interfere and trade away some picks, I think we're going to get Marvin Harrison Jr. out in the desert. But Rondale Moore was a weapon, man, a little bit injury prone, but I think with Ritter behind Murray, I think it solidifies that backup role. So I like that for my Arizona Cardinals. But Simmons still being out there from Denver going into his 9th year, somebody's going to get him on the back end, probably going to get to a contender. So he's going to be a difference maker. But I think that's for me, that's the biggest impact free agent still out there, definitely on the defensive side of the ball. So.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, the two things, and they both came out today, one that surprised me and one that I liked, and apologies to Sach. But, Derrick Henry said the Cowboys didn't even call him. He didn't even take one call from the organization. And that is just a small piece of a bigger. When all those running backs were out there and he let Pollard go, you're like, man, what's the plan down there? I heard that Jerry said he's running it back. He's going to run it back with that team. Even though they lost Pollard, you need a running back. He's running it back one more year. And that surprised me. I thought at least there'd be discussion. And then today, I really like the Sam Howell trade going to Seattle. I think we learned from the Jets and Aaron Rodgers that you need a backup, right? So whether it's Geno or Sam starting, you have a solid backup. I'm not saying that Sam Howell's winning any MVPs, but we saw what happened with the Jets and Zach Wilson and some of these other teams. So they went out and got himself a good backup. And then today, the Ravens released, Odell Beckham. I know he's not the New York Giants Beckham, but so he's out there as well. A lot of moving parts. That's my original thoughts for today's movements.
Yeah, very interesting stuff kind of going on right now. I agree with you, though. That was kind of my bigger ones. The Sam Howell to Seattle. Really interesting there. I mean, Sam Howell, he was over in Washington and everything, didn't really perform how they'd like him to. But the dude's still a top draft pick right now. Maybe you can get some experience being a backup in Seattle and maybe even get a starting position, because even with Geno over there, they still didn't really get to where they'd like to be. So I could definitely see a competition being over there in Seattle and whatnot. We'll see what the young man has to offer. And then to go back to what you said with the Cowboys, that was really surprising to me. Really surprising, because I'm going back to now. There's a lot of questioning going on. I mean, a lot of people thought Coach McCarthy should have been fired this year with everything that occurred. Obviously Jerry said that wasn't going to happen and everything. And just to hear that they're trying to do it again with the exact same team of last year is kind of weird. I would think they would shoot for a huge running back. Kind of want to hear Sach's take on this one. A little surprised. Derrick Henry's that guy who just takes you over the top that much more. And a little surprised when you have a team over there, especially with Jerry Jones as your owner. They got money galore. And to not even have a conversation with the man, little surprising. But I definitely kind of want to hear what Sach has to say on that one.
Yeah, I mean, it's been the Cowboys, I think, in my personal opinion, the Achilles heel ever since I've really been a fan. They don't really go – they're not really aggressive during free agency. They haven't been for a while. I think our last big trade or free agency pickup has really been Amari Cooper, and that was like 5 years ago, and we saw how that went. I mean, that went good. He was our number one wide receiver. Had CeeDee Lamb backing him up until he was ready to take the reins. But yeah, I mean, to not even call him, to not even have a conversation with him, that was disappointing. They must be looking. Look, I'm not going to overreact to it, but there's still many moves to be made with the draft coming up. We've seen teams time and time again make trades with draft picks to get a different player. And I mean, to Jerry's credit, I will give him this. He's a damn good drafter. The guy drafts some good players. I don't know why Witt was doing that, but he's drafted damn good players throughout his tenure. But his thing is he gets so attached to these players that he drafts that he won't trade them. He won't really move on when it's time to move on, and he won't really trade for anyone that's not his guy. I think with Jerry, he wants to know and prove that, hey, I can draft my own team. I don't have to go out there and make these trades in free agency to build a team. I can do it all from the ground up, and clearly it hasn't worked. So something is going on. Dak's going to take the blame once again like he does year in and year out about how he's not performing. He got people over there. Yeah, I mean, what do you expect from Dak and Mike McCarthy coming up this year? You just lost a bunch of players, and you didn't make any moves to really improve your team whatsoever. So Jerry has been the problem for quite some time when it comes to free agency. And I mean, I just got to look forward to the draft at this point. I got to look at what they're really cooking up. Maybe they see a rough diamond in the rough in the draft. I don't know. But yeah, I mean, nonetheless, disappointing free agency so far. I don't see the Cowboys really making a push like at least they did last year, unless they do something drastic coming up. But I'll go ahead and send it to you on what you thought about what I said.
Yeah, I mean, the drafts. I mean, he's hit on a few, but I don't know, man. Maybe there's a draft day trade that they're looking at. You know what I mean? Maybe there's something there. I don't know if they get someone where they're able to get someone to pay part of the contract and they trade away some late picks or something down the road, because I think they're in a win now. Unless Trey Lance can expedite his development, it's going to be interesting. But the way the NFL is now, I mean, Dak goes down and you're not there. Jalen Hurts goes down, they're not there, right? So you're one injury away from Saquon goes down there in the same situation last year. What I do know is the Cowboys need a running back. That's a position that plays offense. So I don't know if you're calling him and they're going to get Jason Tatum after the season to go over there and line up in the backfield or what's going on. But they need running back, Sach. That's one of the guys.
We do need a running back. I'll give you that. But I mean, even to go off of that, the Eagles, DeAndre Swift was a damn good running back for the Eagles last year. You saw it in the second half of the season. And in the playoffs, they just stopped using them.
Yeah.
They just completely stopped using DeAndre Swift and would just do running or quarterback sweeps and draws with Jalen Hurts and having him throw the ball. At the end of the day, if they're going to use Saquon in that same way, then I don't really know how good of a pickup it'll be. Obviously, Saquon's better, but I mean, he is still a running back that has dealt with injuries. He pulls a hamstring and twists an ankle, and he's out for 4 games every single year. Maybe the Cowboys didn't really want to make that commitment with the money that he wanted, and they didn't really care about the big name guys. But I mean, at the end of the day, you're right. We still need a running back. Not confident with the running back room we got, so they must be trying to draft someone that's going to be a dual threat. We're better off with 2 running backs that are, kind of even. But I mean, it has to be a draft day trade and whatnot that they have to be seeing. So. I mean, I'm curious what they do on draft.
Do you know where they draft? I don't know if you knew off the top of your head.
I'm not off the top of my head.
Just because it's the same state, maybe they got the inside on Jonathan Brooks, the running back out of Texas. He's considered a number 1 back in the draft. So depending on where they're at, they're not right down the road, but you know what I mean? They're in the same state, and maybe that's what they're looking at is coming out and getting a workhorse running back. Not the worst idea as far as money.
Yeah. I mean,
I think the problem, perception is the Eagles right now are the flash. They're spending the money and they're bringing in the names and the wow and the bling. Look at this. And then Cowboys are staying put, and you're kind of like, man, what are you doing? And they lose their running back. And, I like your point. Let's wait and see what happens. Let's go to the end of the story. Right now, they definitely have an incomplete on their grade, but maybe they got something up their sleeve that'll just, surprise everybody.
They're sitting at 24. They draft 24th overall. So
you can get a solid running back. Probably not Brooks in that case, but you may never know. They could trade up.
I got a question for all of you guys. Kind of especially where we are heading into the draft and everything with the free agency moves we've seen so far and whatnot. If you had to pick like a sleeper team right now, who would that sleeper team be? Like, what moves did they make, and did they move the needle a little bit? We'll start with Sach.
I mean, the sleeper team, I got to go with the Falcons. I just have to go with the Falcons. I mean, Kirk Cousins, I get it. He hasn't won a playoff game in, throughout his career that has been, like eye-opening where he deserves that kind of money. But, I mean, at the end of the day, you're going from Desmond Ridder to Kirk Cousins, a guy that can lead the league in passing yards, a guy that has the weapons, Kyle Pitts, Bijan Robinson. I mean, you got Drake London. They got the pieces to do it. And I think they're going to be the team that makes the biggest jump. They got a new head coach. I think a serviceable head coach. I mean, I'm pretty sure he's new. But I think he's better than Arthur Smith. I mean, a guy that just he should have been fired, a year or two ago at the end of the day. But I really like the Falcons. I mean, when you look at the league now, it's not really a running back heavy league where you're just going to run. I mean, we've seen it time and time again. The Ravens led the league in rushing yards. We see how far that got them. Cowboys have led the league in rushing yards. You see how far that gets them. It's passing teams that are going to get you there. You see the 49ers had the best running back in the league. They didn't get there, and they didn't win the Super Bowl. I mean, they got there, but they didn't win. So when you look at how the NFL is now, you need a serviceable quarterback that can pass the ball and maybe makes a mistake or two, but you know that he's serviceable in passing the ball. And Bijan Robinson's a guy that can catch the ball out of the backfield at the same time. And I love the pickup. I mean, it may not look pretty like all the Eagles trades and stuff and free agent signings, but I mean, the Falcons are a team that would be they caught my eye during this time. So I'm looking forward to them. I think they can make a lot of noise and at least get in the playoffs at minimum.
Yeah, I mean, I like the Falcons. Obviously, that division is weak, soft. So I think they definitely front runners to win that division. But I like what Jacksonville's done. I know you guys didn't like the Gabe Davis pickup. There were some other things. I think that team.
Your guy Mac Jones.
Hey, he's a backup, but hey, we'll keep the clip. 12 minutes 32 seconds into the last show. But keep that for later down the road, maybe week 8 or something. You know what I mean? But here's the deal. I like what they're doing. That team's a year older. I think they got a deep threat. Then they still have Christian Kirk. I know they're developing some folks. The defense was good last year. Trevor Lawrence stays healthy. One more year. Doug Peterson. I believe in Doug Peterson. Everywhere he's gone, he's won. So I like the Jaguars, especially in that division as well. Not a really strong division either. So, I think really the Falcons and the Jaguars probably have done the most to move the needle for me. I'm not a Kirk Cousins in the postseason type guy, but that division, they're going to win that division, barring any crazy injury. And then that Rondale Moore pickup with Pitts, with the weapons they already have, Bijan, and some other things. Rondale's nice. He's going to be hurt 3 or 4 games a year, but Rondale's nice. So he can play everywhere on the field. He can play wide. He can play slot. He can come out of backfield. He's a smaller Debo, and only in his 4th year. So the dude's definitely a threat. So he gives them something else to work with.
I like it. Yeah, I'm not. You kind of stole my pick there with the Jags, so I'll go to team 2 because I think the Jags have done well this offseason. I don't know, like Atlanta, that's kind of, I wouldn't say they're a dark horse, but I'll respect the choice. I won't take the Eagles because I think they're the top of it, but Maybe I do like what Tennessee did as well. They picked up Pollard.
That was mine.
They got
That was
Murray.
mine.
They got your boy Cush from out of Denver.
Calvin Ridley
putting together a little, Ridley. That's a nice little start up there. I just don't know what they're going to do with the coaching, because their long-term coach is gone. So if they can come back with that same grit, I like what the Titans. They did a quick turn, right, and keep the quarterback healthy. But that was a quick turn down there. So I don't know what's going to happen to Ryan. But, yeah, I like the Titans. As a dark horse, I would say Titans.
Yeah.
What about you, ZJ? You going Denver?
Denver did terrible, didn't do anything. What's new? But, no, I just want to go back to Tennessee and everything because that was going to be mine. I completely love what they did. They definitely added a lot of guys to their roster and whatnot. We saw a little bit of fire out of Will Levis last year. I really liked what I saw in that game they played against Miami prime time. Sach and I were watching that game live. I mean, they were going a long way with those guys. They were hanging in there, showed some fight, ended up winning the game, beating Miami. So we'll see what happens. I don't know where they're at in the draft. I don't know what they're going to do quarterback-wise. But, I mean, Will Levis it was year one for him, and he came in for Ryan Tannehill, right? So he kind of came in more unprepared than usual, but I'm sure he's getting a lot of preparation going into this next season. And we'll see what they do draft-wise. But, hey, those guys have a lot of fight in them for sure. So it'll be interesting to see with what they do. Broncos, I think, took the biggest L of the free agency this year for sure. I mean, they didn't do a dang thing. They didn't move the needle at all. Besides, the best thing they did this year was trading Jerry Jeudy. So I'm happy with that. But other than that, I mean, we didn't get better at all. We got worse because we lost Justin Simmons to make some money arrangements and everything. But we'll see. We'll see what happens in the draft. It looks like we're going J.J. McCarthy.
You need a lot to happen in the draft. You signed your kicker, though. That's a big
He said it
thing.
as Will Lutz. Yeah, they signed Will Lutz back. Big pickup for the Broncos. Major pickup. I mean, the J.J. McCarthy news is just wild to me. And me and ZJ kind of thought of it as a joke. But now as time goes on, bro, it's sounding more and more realistic.
Real life.
It's sounding more and more realistic. I mean, look, the guy can win. That's always a plus, no matter how much you throw the ball, pass the ball. Winning is a skill, no matter what anyone says. I don't care. You could put it as a QB stat, with any stat you want. If a QB can win, that's a big deal. Jimmy Garoppolo used to win all the time. People used to bash him. Obviously, he went to a different team and he didn't win. But if you can win in that system, that's a big skill that people that people they undervalue. So I mean, at least at the bare minimum, you're getting a quarterback that knows how to win in big games. That's all I got to say. And maybe out of nowhere, he can turn into something where he's serviceable. He's not going to be a Pro Bowl type quarterback, not going to wow you with the arm. But if you can get a team around him, maybe in about 2 to 3 years, you honestly never know. So that's one thing that you can look at as a Bronco fan, that the guy can win.
Yeah, we'll have to see. I mean, the draft's obviously going to be huge for them. It needs to be. We'll see what happens. I'll tell you what, though, go back to what we were just talking about. I think the Vikings also made some pretty good moves.
I knew you were going to go with that. I'm surprised you didn't say that. They got Sam Darnold.
No, but I'm saying,
bro, it's 1 year, $10 million. That was fucking wild.
That was huge. Yeah,
$10 million, bro.
I mean, they got the crazy part is though, weapons. Who did they get in the running back position over there?
They got shit. Who did they get?
They got someone nice. It's totally blanking.
Yeah, they lost Eckler.
Yeah,
and
no Vikings.
The Vikings got your boy Jones from Green Bay.
Aaron Jones.
Yeah, they got Aaron Jones. So I love that. I like their coach too a lot. I'm blanking on his what's his name again, Sach? Young guy.
Kevin O'Connell.
I love him. I love his system and everything. He looks like he's kind of like one of those player coaches as well.
Yeah,
and he definitely.
He was cut. Sorry to cut you off, but he was cut by the Vikings as a quarterback. So he's an underdog story, and he knows what he's a player coach because he was a player.
Yeah,
so that's a good point. I like him.
I really like their system, and it was bad this year, obviously, because they didn't have a quarterback. So we'll see what happens this next year. But another kind of take I wanted to get from you guys. I've been hearing a lot of noise. It's a lot of social media stuff, of course, a lot of rumors. But have you guys heard anything on the whole Justin Jefferson thing to the Bengals possibility and all that? Just I know it's a lot of rumors right now. Just kind of wanted to hear what's going on. Obviously, you have Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow. They all played at LSU together, and I heard they're trying to get Justin Jefferson over there. I just kind of wanted to hear if you guys had any interest in that.
The thing with that is going to be money. I mean, you pay Joe Burrow a king's ransom. They're going to pay Jamar Chase a king's ransom. And can you really scoot in Justin Jefferson to get the bag that he's looking forward to and have a team around him that's at least serviceable?
Hey, sorry to break you guys up. Late breaking news. Keenan Allen got traded to the Bears.
Oh, my
Shut
gosh.
up. Right? Ryan Poles, I told you guys, bro. That GM he makes shit work like nothing I've ever seen. That Ryan Poles GM
fourth round pick
in Chicago. What the fuck?
Let's walk through this too. And this one was a little kind of surprised. I was thinking this one. I was going to say my dark horse. But, I mean, we kind of went over this last episode where we talked how the Bears were definitely making some moves and everything. DeAndre Swift, Kevin Byard, right? Still got DJ Moore over there, a great wide receiver. Now you're adding Keenan Allen to the mix.
Dude, I told you guys.
Definitely one of the top wide receivers in the NFL for sure. I know he's kind of getting on the older side and everything, but he's still a great wide receiver. He comes to play in each game. So, I mean, we'll see. The main question, obviously, guys, with the Bears is what are they going to do with the quarterback position? That's another controversy that's just going on right now. Will they get Caleb Williams? Are they going to try to make a big draft trade to get some value out of it? What is happening over there? It seems like you look into it and you still just find out nothing. It's just all talk right now.
If you're Justin Fields, just imagine you're him. Are you sitting back like, what the fuck? You couldn't put these pieces around me, man? Well, you didn't want to see what I could do with these pieces? Think about his rookie year and what he had with him besides Dave Montgomery. You know what I mean? He's like, what the come on. He's got to be kind of just sitting there. Hoping that he gets to stay because that's legit.
They're doing all this just to entice Caleb and the dad. You know what I mean?
They definitely are. Yeah.
You know what I mean? But yeah, man, that organization is dysfunctional. We'll see with the general manager if he can turn it around. But did Harbaugh get in that locker room and say, look, Allen he's not going to move the needle for us this year, and he's not my kind of guy. I mean, he's injury prone. He's injury prone too. So, I don't like wide receivers going to the Bears, but them DJ Moore and Keenan Allen, and then you got Swift.
That's dangerous.
You got some things, and it's going to be interesting. So, Chargers going to be interesting.
It's going to be interesting with the Chargers because Justin was. Oh yeah, good. Keenan was Justin's security blanket.
Yeah,
I mean that was his guy.
Yeah,
8 to 10 targets a game, Keenan Allen. But Keenan Allen, at the end of the day, he's one of those wide receivers that has a hammy once or twice a year where he's going to miss about 3 games every single year. As the Chargers, and I mean their cap hit, they decided to keep Khalil Mack over there in LA. They had to get rid of Keenan Allen, Khalil Mack, or Williams. They decided to get rid of Williams, but now that they trade Keenan Allen, I'm curious to see what they're going to do over there. They're saying that they might get Blake Corum, the Michigan guy, for Jim Harbaugh.
And so also Bosa restructured his deal today as well to give him more money.
Yeah, saw that.
I saw that, but going back to that Chicago,
Bears are going to be kind of dangerous.
So I follow a guy who's very close with the Bears. ZJ, you know him, Bear Down. Big Bears guy. He follows the Bears, to a T. He's like an NFL analyst, but he's saying that he has a source very close to the Bears that are saying they're not even going to trade Justin Fields. They're going to still draft Caleb Williams and have 2 quarterbacks battle it out and see who can win the starting job. So, I mean, and I mean, at the end of the day, Justin Fields still has one more year left on his rookie deal. So you don't necessarily have to trade him now. You still have the number 1 pick. You can still make something shake before the draft if you really want to. If Justin Fields is really your guy, you can still trade. You can still draft Caleb Williams and trade him to see what other teams do. That's still a possibility. But yeah, I mean, I could see them in a real world. They could keep both quarterbacks, Jay Fields and Caleb Williams. So that'll be,
which isn't a bad thing at all.
No, it's not a bad thing because
Yeah.
you still have Justin Fields on a rookie deal. So like, you really have nothing to lose, to be honest with you. And like I've been saying, Ryan Poles, that dude is, in my opinion, one of the best GMs in the league. What he's been able to do with the Bears, he went with them last year. You saw how the Bears made moves last year. Got Montez Sweat, DJ Moore. He was the GM that did all that. Got Cole Kmet, re-signed Cole Kmet. Now they have an option on every part of the offense. There's no – and they signed 3 – they signed the Eagles center today as well, the Bears did. So now they got an offensive line. That was always the biggest harp on the Bears was they didn't have an offensive line for Fields. But now that offense is loaded. So there's no excuse now for the Bears to not, be one of the most high-powered offenses in the league. So it's going to be interesting. I'm all on the Bears train, to be honest with you. All on the Bears train.
I still need a point guard, man. I don't know. Maybe you can get rid of Fields at in the first couple of weeks. Someone goes down with a knee or something on another team, or maybe you get you draft Caleb Williams, and then say we like what we have, and you get a haul, for him, sign and trade or something, or do you go with both of them? I don't know that you keep both of them. I don't know if you do that. It's going to be interesting to see what they do, but yeah, Justin Fields got to be sitting there like, really, man. If he's being shipped out of town, that's kind of.
But I mean, if I'm Justin Fields and they do have a quarterback competition, I'm balling out. I'm balling out now. Now you got weapons around you. You got no excuses right now. Obviously, they're going to take Caleb Williams and whatnot. But Justin Fields, I still think he had a solid year. So, and all the fans were ready for him to come back. They love him and whatnot. I mean, you just got to ball out now. You got to ball out. And the other thing we haven't really talked about is all the stuff kind of going around with Caleb Williams, right? His maturity, kind of what's going on with him, especially kind of some of the antics he was doing in the Columbine and whatnot. Just who he is kind of personality-wise, I think might have a huge effect on what's going on over there. Because obviously he was kind of trying to he did not want to get drafted to the Bears and all that stuff. So you got that going on and everything. What do you think about that, Sach?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to pay too much attention on the Caleb Williams combine as much because there's players that do that,
Yeah, I'm just talking.
No, but yeah, the media.
Too in general.
Yeah.
But I was just adding that in general, like with all the other personality type of stuff.
Yeah.
That look, came up with him.
Caleb Williams, if he's a diva, he's a diva. It's not like it'll catch you off guard that he's a diva. But, I mean, still, at the end of the day, he's the number 1 unanimous overall pick for a lot of teams. So they could still take him, still have both those quarterbacks battle out. And, I mean, so the Bears, this is what I'm saying. At the end of the day, if the Bears are going to draft Caleb Williams and have 2 quarterbacks, that's still fine. Like, you don't have to trade and go all in on one dude. You don't have to do that. There's no like writing in the – people think that you have to go all in on one guy, but clearly you don't because we've seen a lot of busts in the past 10 years at the quarterback position. There's nothing wrong with keeping 2 of them and seeing where the chips lie, how they perform, and then trading them down the line. So, I mean, like I said, I think they're going to keep Caleb. I don't see his diva mentality once he gets to the NFL working out very much. He's going to be with some grown-ass men and dudes that are, they got real jobs, feeding their families. So, I mean, I like Caleb Williams. I think they'll go with him.
It's interesting, right? Marquise Brown expected to sign with the Chiefs.
No.
Rich get richer.
The rich get richer.
Let me know a Cowboys update. Fucking hell. We're going to go out there with old-ass Brandon Cooks, old-ass CD – or not CeeDee Lamb, the only dude. Fuck, dude.
He played last year. Hey, back at the Bears though, too. You gotta think. I'm not in their locker room, but you gotta think the veterans, even the new guys coming in, are pulling for Justin. They're like, I don't want to be out here with a rookie in his first year.
The organization loves Justin. That's also the thing.
So I
Maybe
like
Caleb
the idea
don't
of just keeping them both. And then if Caleb wins, then everybody sees it. Hey, all right, this cat can play. It's not that he's the anointed one coming in, and you got rid of my man Justin, and now I got to play with this rookie.
Yeah.
So yeah, very, very interesting stuff. Yeah, the Bears definitely made some moves, though, ZJ. I agree with you on that.
Yeah, it's gonna be. I've never not liked the Bears or anything. I don't really think too much of them, but it'll be interesting to watch them this year. I'm not rooting against them or anything, but I'm honestly just seeing what they can kind of put together and whatnot. And obviously with Eberflus back as coach, right? A lot of people thought he should have been fired last year with the start they had, but they kind of came to life there in the end again and whatnot. So yeah, big things happening over there, guys. This is the BCS After Hours show. The fellas are in the house. We got some drinks in hand. Look at Whit just down the gullet, baby. Live. Send us some comments, guys. Let us know how you're feeling tonight, as well as grab a drink with us if you want to do a little toast. But shoot some comments our way, guys. We'll toss them in the show. Love to get you guys involved. We love talking all things sports. We're huge on it, as well as giving you sports bets along the way, guys. Give us a follow on TikTok and Instagram, man. We're giving out those free plays each and every day, and we're cooking up a lot of magic today. Shout out to our guy Whit down below with an absolute banger today on NC State, guys.
Oh, there you go, Whit. Wow.
Yeah, there we go. The Whitster. There we go.
Hey, I was jamming, man. I was doing my 9-to-5er, and I'm sitting there, hadn't heard anything sports, no radio, no news, no nothing. I said, you know what? They lost by 15. They got to win 19-14 to get in the tournament. I just felt that they were going to cover. They ended up winning. I didn't think they would win. I thought they'd lose by 5 to 9 points. But yeah, man, Duke not going in a good direction, man. So, but Flip, man, another big game, 28-14. So another fucking double and dominant performance by him. Fouled out late in the game, but yeah, tough. But I don't get on there very often. But I thought I'd channel my inner E and throw out a zinger.
Good deal. That's what we love.
Point and shoot.
Banging.
100%. And guys, if you were following, all the socials and everything, you got that play for free. All of our plays for free. We're not charging for a dang thing. Just give us a follow, give us a like, give us a comment, guys, and you will get access to all of that each and every day. This is what we do, the Bet Champ Show, baby. Let's roll into another. I'm kind of glad we threw this one out in the text chat earlier because this one's kind of interesting. We don't have to go too much into it, but I definitely want to hear everyone's take on this because we'll see. But obviously, it's the Netflix special fight when we got Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson. Where are we at as a collect with that? What do we think the outcome's going to be? And, of course, we'll start with the Sox man.
Well, ZJ loves betting on name guys. And he comes to me, right when the fight's, finalized. He's like, do we put a bag on Tyson? And I'm like, no. You don't put your money on a guy that he's a good boxer. Now we can say Jake Paul is a solidified boxer. The guy knows how to box. He's been doing it for 4 years. Obviously, he's not a professional boxer, but when he goes up against these old guys that have names, he can fucking rock them. And that's just is what it is. And at the end of the day, Mike Tyson's 50-something years old.
57.
He hasn't been in the boxing scene for a while. I mean, he had a boxing fight a couple years ago against Roy Jones Jr., I think. But, I mean, Tyson, all these videos could come out of him, training and whatnot. But the dude hasn't taken a lick from a young guy who knows how to box in quite some time. So I think Jake Paul's going to win. It's another one of those publicity stunt type fights. Yeah, it's Tyson, but it's not Mike Tyson back in the day. So be careful with whatever you bet. To just be careful because Tyson could get rocked. If Jake Paul sneaks him straight in the fucking jaw, with a mean fucking right, and he goes memes, don't say I didn't tell you. That's all I got to say about that. But I got Jake Paul. Mike Tyson's old.
So 3 things with this.
Those brittle ass bones might not be able to take one of those shots to the ribs. That's all I'm saying.
So 3 things with this. You don't bet on Tyson fights. Number 1, you don't. It's a spectacle. This is going to be a spectacle. The second piece to that is Jake Paul has not faced anyone that is going to pressure him probably the way that Mike Tyson's going to do in the first 90 seconds of that. No one has walked that dude down and said, I'm taking your fucking head off. Because I think Tyson knows that
because they'll get their shit rocked.
But they're not Tyson either. They're not professional boxers.
But Tyson's like 56 years old. With
that's point 3. So Jake Paul,
I don't think Tyson's dumb enough to just go in there guns blazing trying to not like he might. I don't know.
That's his style. That's been his style. I know you're young, but go watch Tyson's fights. The first 90 seconds are going to be intense. He's going to try to overwhelm you, and he's going to make you miss, and he can catch you. The third thing is he's 57 years old. So if you win, it's a bad look. If you lose, it's a bad look. And at the end of the day, the reason I wouldn't bet on this fight, definitely wouldn't bet Tyson, is because it's a money grab. He has nothing to prove other than to get the bag. So I don't know what the stipulations are, how many rounds it is, 8. I don't know. I didn't look at it yet. But come on, Jake Paul, if you want to take yourself serious, he's smart because he's making a lot of money, more than he would going through the circuit. But if you really want to be a boxer, if you really want to get a title, if you really want to, that's what you want to do, man, register, man, and go fight actual fighters. That's what they do for a living. Like those are my key takeaways. But I'm not betting on a Tyson fight. Not a 57 even.
I'm old enough to remember Mike in his prime. Woo, and Sach is right. He's not that anymore. I did read today that they don't even know yet, right? Allegedly, Paul and Tyson want to make it a boxing match, not an exhibition. But the state of Texas, the Athletic Commission, has to determine that because there was talk of headgear and like 18-ounce gloves. I mean, nothing gonna go down with that.
God,
you know
damn, 18-ounce gloves.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
They're throwing
if they make
bricks.
Yeah, let's say they make it a box, they make it a match. To Witt's point, and Tyson, and even at 57, all Tyson has in him is to charge this guy and give him 90 seconds of hell, and see if Paul can eat it. The other thing that I think Tyson and Paul is a boxer, yes. He lost to Tyson Fury's brother. That's his only loss, and then he just won this past.
And that was a debatable fight. That was a toss-up.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying. My point is he went to boxers. He's not fighting UFC guys. He's not doing the celebrity thing. I do think though he can say what he wants. We've all seen the videos of Mike. You know what I mean? Yeah. We've all seen it, no matter how old you are. Even when he's fucking around with Tyson, with Francis Ngannou. So I do believe he has a shot with 90 seconds because I can't imagine anybody that's standing in the ring looking across at Mike before they touch gloves, go back to that corner. Your mind's just like, hey, I'm gonna knock this old man out, and he's running at you. You're like, uh-oh, until you eat one. Now maybe you eat one, and you're like, oh, okay, this is an old motherfucker. Yeah. To your point, in any fight, right? Anybody has a chance. The longer it goes, and if it goes into that first round, it's getting into Paul's favor. But I think Mike, if he can give him 90 seconds of fury, it's just. But again, I grew up with Mike, so not personally, but boxing. So that's what I remember. I remember the guy knocking Joe. You bought a pay-per-view. Everybody talked about the fight's over in 30 seconds. You're like, what the fuck was that? So yeah, I guess. DJ, my point will be this. I'm going to buy the fight or I'm going to watch the fight, on Netflix. And then I'm going to take a flyer on Mike. I will. But I'm 57 myself, so I got to do it for us little guys. I'm doing it for us little guys.
Yeah, we got ties.
What's that?
It's a generational fight.
Here's kind of, and I got a couple things to say about this. It's very interesting, right? It's very interesting. Very interesting. And I agree. And I agree with everyone on here. Everything that was just said. The interesting thing I really like about this one, obviously Mike Tyson is old. He's older in age and whatnot, but kind of where he's going at it with this is now you're fighting against a boxer who is one of the best boxers to do it in the ring. You're not fighting some UFC guy of any form. And again, I know what Sasha's saying. I know he's old and everything. But this guy knows all the tricks in the books. It's a tale as old as time where the master is with the apprentice. You know, Tyson's the master. He's seen everything. He knows every move. He knows what he's doing. You know, he knows how to win. He's obviously older. I think it could be interesting. Like we've said, in the first couple minutes of the fight, he's going to have a lot of energy. We've seen the videos. He's got some killer-ass hands. We'll see. On the other side of things, though, kind of where Sasha – I know. On the other side of things, kind of where Sasha was at with everything, Jake Paul – and I want to say this. I want to say this about Jake Paul because for his pre-boxing debut era and all that, I really did not like the guy. I thought he was kind of a douche. All this stuff, you know, he was doing this, doing that. And then even when he started boxing, it was like, what is going on? He's not fighting anyone. I watched a podcast. I can't remember who he did it with, but he had this podcast out, and he was pretty much telling his whole story of what he does to get focused for these boxing, everything like that, what he's doing now, and his whole mindset going in. And I gained a lot of respect for the kid. The kid is an absolute winner. His routine from the moment he wakes up, you know, till the nighttime is just set to win. He knows what he's doing. He's not drinking. He's not out partying anymore. He takes this real seriously. He takes it as a sport. And you can see, I mean, the dude's a boxer. The dude has killer hands and everything. So, like we're kind of at, I mean, if he lands a little something, you know, I could see him dropping Tyson. But it's an interesting fight, right? Obviously, all the media's everywhere. I'm not going to pick a winner right now. I can change it at any time. But I do like a flyer on Tyson just to have a little fun with it. But obviously, Jake Paul is there to do business and continue this legacy he is building for himself.
What's the one thing you hear across any sport, right? Father Time's undefeated. And it's not – look, Mike forgot more about boxing than Jake Paul knows. And I'm not saying that disrespectful. I'm saying Mike is a historian of the fight game. Growing up with Cus D'Amato, all the stuff he did, young kid with Ali, just everything. But Father Time, right, the problem is Mike's mind still works. But here's the thing. I'm coming in and my mind's like throw that combo, duck, come back, hook. But his body doesn't do it. You know what I mean? Your time, and you're not as fast as you were when you were in your 20s. You can't get that done. So that's my fear for Tyson. He's all game. He's going to go in there to try to do stuff. And if he hits you, you should be lights out. Maybe we haven't seen him lights out anyway because the fight with Jones was an exhibition. They didn't even try. I don't even think they touched each other in the head once during that Jones fight. So I think the only thing that's going to catch Mike is time. You're not as fast as you are. Hey, my mind said move, and my body didn't. You hear all pro athletes across the sport talk about that. Baseball players, I just can't hit the ball. I still know it's a curveball. I still swing, but I'm just not fast enough anymore. I don't have.
I think with Tyson. Go ahead. No, I think with Tyson too, and as much as we're lauding him, I think you gotta. The reason I wouldn't bet on him is, dude, he's got a lot of quit in him too. He had a lot of quit in him when he was getting dominated when he was younger too. So if there's no reason to be there and I already got the bag and it's the third round, what is really my effort level, right? Now, if it was like an Evander Holyfield, someone that you know ain't got no quit in them, and you're gonna have to put the man down and he'll die in that ring, I think we're talking. I'm having a different narrative, but I'm kind of tired of these fights. You got Diaz and Masvidal going June 1st now too. Like,
oh, come on.
You know, do we really want to see that? I mean, I do. I want to see that.
Hell yeah, let some guys make some money.
Yeah, I like that more than I like Tyson and Jake Paul.
When Jake Paul came out, you know, he fought like
Ben
first
Askren.
he's fighting YouTubers.
He fought Ben
he's fighting, and then
looking like a bag of milk.
Fought Nate Robinson,
bag
Ben
of milk.
Askren.
Yeah, that's right. Nate Robinson and those guys. I thought that was cool. I thought, hey, you have a niche, because I'm not going to beat, you know, I'm not going to beat Tyson Fury. So I'm going to be the king of celebrity fights. And he sells it well. But then he got serious, and he can box. The kid can box.
He can fucking box. There's one thing we know. He can box. people might say whatever they want about him, but the kid can box. And there's a lot of boxing coaches out there that'll be like, yo, this guy's he shouldn't be fighting these guys.
Yeah.
It's
Not
bro.
anymore. And people get caught into like the UFC, like all these legends. But, bro, it's not the UFC. You can't just go out there and grapple him and choke him out. You got to fight with gloves. And that's what's been his bread and butter. And the guy's a businessman at the end of the day. He gets the bag, fights these big name dudes, and you can't really blame him for it anymore because the public loves it.
If he ever got,
I like the Nate fight too coming up. I didn't know that got signed.
Yeah, 1 June, him and Masvidal. But if Jake ever got in the UFC, man, he would at the size he's at, he would get destroyed.
Oh yeah, I mean, he's
what I mean. But go do that. You know what I mean. But the reason, here's the problem too. It's not a problem, but the reason he's able to get these guys is they'll make more money fighting him than they will in the UFC in a 3-fight. You know, and a lot of them are on the way down. Forget what Diaz made for that fight, and I didn't look at. I'm trying to look up what him and Masvidal would get.
Because Dana White pays these guys fucking pennies.
Well, he's got a lot of fighters, man. But yeah, they should be getting paid a lot more. That's why Conor McGregor's
got
not
a lot of fighters.
It's like
Conor McGregor, though.
Yeah, he got a lot of
fighters. You got to be a big high-end guy to get paid the big bucks in the
But
UFC.
Conor's not making his money in the UFC. That's why Conor's not fighting. He doesn't need to fight. He's fucking got money coming out of everywhere else.
He made more with the boxing Floyd Mayweather fight than damn near he did his whole UFC career. And now he got a bunch of other business ventures, so he don't need to fight.
But
that goes to show that the UFC, they don't pay that much.
That's because it's monopolized. That's why it's monopolized. Yeah. It's just like
only one UFC. Yeah.
So that's where everybody wants to be, and they got them by the nuts. But yeah, some interesting stuff, man. But what we got next on the slate there, Jonesy?
Little, you know,
Jones,
it's Thursday.
Jones, real quick. I'm sorry, but Rayshawn Jenkins to Seattle. Safety.
Rayshawn. See, look, I mean, a lot of moves. And Whit brought up a interesting comment earlier too with the whole Justin Simmons safety thing. Dude still hasn't been picked up or anything. I find that kind of interesting. He obviously is getting a little older and whatnot. We don't have to spend any time on this, but that was interesting to me too because he's one of the top safeties in the league and whatnot. So, but yeah, next up, kind of want to go back. It's Thursday, guys, in this winter storm. Of course, we got to run a little trivia right before we go. We got about 8 minutes left in the show, guys. BCS After Hours. Appreciate all the live listeners and viewers. Right now, we're up and rolling. Here we go. You got one tonight, Sach?
For trivia? Yeah. I'll go ahead and I'll throw one out that's kind of interesting. So which four teams have never appeared in a Super Bowl in the NFL? 3 AFC, 1 NFC.
So you got Cleveland Browns.
Yep.
I'm gonna write this down. You got the
Yep.
Cleveland Browns. All right, let's go through it.
Jaguars.
Jaguars.
Go.
What about the
Texans.
Titans? What about the Titans?
Titans have made it. Texans, Texans.
Yeah.
You guys got all three. You guys got all 3 AFC. So one.
The NFC. Let me
NFC.
What's we looking at? He down there.
No.
Yeah, is he looking the question?
I'm trying to pull up the divisions.
Let's looking at something.
I know who it is. I know it's on the tip of my tongue. I've had this question before.
Detroit Lions.
There you go, Big E. Wow, you guys are riding the coattails of E.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man,
So
that one wasn't even
there
that
we
weird.
go.
Like, we all should have known the Lions won. They talk about it the whole playoff run.
They're good now. So you got to go back and think.
And that's what gets people in.
But yeah, good deal. I like that one. Good job, Sach.
4. Yeah, good job. Damn, good job, E.
So
Wait, got one. ZJ, you were just sitting up there.
Yeah, ZJ over there letting get in the room.
What's he got his hand up for? Was he waiting on a bus? Like, what is he doing?
No, I think he's sitting on his grandma's bed. He just let the pussy out the room too. Do you see him? You see the kitty? You see Garfield?
I think smarter, not harder. I got the old dogs with me. I gotta put, smarter, not harder. I use my weapons.
Yeah, you're doing some.
So
All right, who's up?
I'm gonna go a different direction, and E's probably the only one that'll touch this unless we got a sleeper in the crowd.
Whoa.
I'm a big. So here's a little known fact about Whit. Whit's a big horse racing fan, and the Triple Crown is upon us. The first leg of the Triple Crown is upon us, right? And so in the months to come, I give you a two-part question. One, how many horses have won the Triple Crown? And two, who was the last one to do it and when was it? Because, hey, I'm going to tell you right now, for the longest time, all I wanted to see in my life was the Dodgers win the World Series, and I wanted to see another Triple Crown winner. And if you guys don't want to talk about the ponies, let's not talk about the ponies, all right? But here's the deal. I've seen now, I'll tell you the last Triple Crown winner, I was born in 79, last Triple Crown winner was 78, and I hadn't seen one in my lifetime.
No, there was a Triple Crown winner like 10 years ago.
Yeah, but there's been two since then.
Since Secretariat?
No. So the last one to win was Justify in 2018, and before that,
I was about to say that was pretty recent. Okay.
It was American Pharaoh at 15. But prior to that, a horse had not won a Triple Crown since 1978. So that's a pretty crazy stretch.
Horseradish,
and then
Secretariat, Man of War.
And since inception, there's been 13 horses. So there's your My Little Pony trivia. I want to see you guys, because here's the deal. When it comes to Derby time, I know Jones is going to be like, do we put a bag on you?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because he don't watch it. He wants to make fun of it now, but we're going to get
some good odds on some ponies.
Yeah. Hey,
so what's our question?
The question, I just gave you the answers, but how many horses have won the Triple Crown total?
13.
And 13. And then when was the last one, and what was the name?
Wait, so before the 15 and 18, when was the last Triple Crown winner?
Affirmed in 1978.
See, look, we're done with the old school ponies too. They're just like all this old school stuff.
It's like Mike Tyson.
No, Mike Tyson's
horse racing. Man, I'm telling you right now. Look, you boys.
Even horse racing has evolved where we don't even know anyone back in the day.
Hey.
The ponies today would wax the ass.
Your mom wasn't. Yeah, but your mom wasn't even born whenever the last one won probably. So here's the deal. You guys come out to San Diego. I'll take you to Del Mar Track and Raceway. I'll take you to opening day. I bet you won't be like fuck the ponies. I bet you'll be like, damn.
No, I love the pony racing.
I'll go. I'd love to go.
So, anyways, that's Whit. Something you may not know about Whit, big horse racing fan, and I cannot wait for the Triple Crown season and horse racing to kick off here. So, 13 total Triple Crown winners. The last two to win were 18 and 15. Justify in 18, American Pharaoh in 15. And before that, it was all the way back to 1978. So, crazy, man, to think that it's been that long.
I like it. I guess I wasn't ready for it.
But here, I know, but you got to go a little different. I'm in the whiskey lab tonight, and I know Jones. I know ZJ is going to come with. Should we get the trifecta? Should we bet Should we bet it's going to be some crazy shit when he's horse racing.
ZJ loves betting a good bag on something.
I love putting a good bag on something.
Yeah,
you do.
What you got? He's got a doozy. Look at him. He rethought of his.
Yeah, I mean, if you guys know me, you know I love the Uzbekistan Cricket League. So no, I'm going to take it back to the NBA. We're going to get back to Central. All right, here we go.
Let's get back to
back to Central.
Yeah. Which team drafted Dirk Nowitzki before he was traded to Dallas? Dirk was not original Maverick. He was drafted by another team. A team in the East.
Was it the Pacers?
No.
Damn, that's a good question.
Yeah, that might have been a little bit before you guys' time too. But
that was.
I thought it was a good one. Let's see here. Sach brought this team into the quiz before as well. Into the trivia.
Have I really?
Yeah.
Was it
Yeah,
the
the Trailblazers. The Trailblazers.
Not the Trailblazers.
Oh.
Milwaukee Bucks.
Yes.
Oh,
Witt's looking
good
shit up.
one.
I couldn't.
No,
Yeah,
Stop
what is Witt doing?
no, because
I
he
don't
came
know,
out.
looking
Witt
down.
disappears, looks on his lap for an hour and shoots out Milwaukee Bucks.
No, I didn't got nothing on my phone.
team.
I got nothing on my phone. I was looking down. I was trying to think because he was drafted the same year as Kobe, if I'm not mistaken, 1998. If I'm not mistaken, right? He was drafted the same year as Kobe Bryant. Correct?
Okay. I don't know. I just know that I looked up my draft question, man. Okay, I'm gonna give it to you. I say agree.
But I think Kobe came in that draft too, like 1998. I think Kobe was drafted. I believe so.
And who drafted Kobe?
Who drafted Kobe was the Charlotte Hornets.
Yeah, good job.
Yeah, and then
all right,
and then
CJ, take us home.
Lakers.
Yeah, good call, Whit. I thought you brought up the Bucks. Was it Portland? Because I was saying Ray Allen, remember? And you were laughing.
I brought the Bucks. That was with the Rookie of the Year one with the Bucks.
Hey, ZJ, I'm gonna look down while you ask you questions. So when I look up, my phone is over here. It's turned off.
All right, gents. The most dominant center to ever play the game, Shaquille O'Neal. Won some championships, did his thing, won with multiple teams, and was able to win the MVP one time. He had an opportunity to win it a second time. Who was the player?
Steve Nash. Good one. Come on. What are we doing?
This is fucking the pros, Zach. Don't come with this. It's like Jeopardy. Who is Steve Nash?
What is this? I already saw it from a mile away.
Well, I don't know. I
didn't
know it. I thought we needed to ease into it because Witt's over here bringing up horses, so it threw me off a little.
That wasn't even fun.
Yeah, come with another one. Hey, when was the power skateboard invented?
I literally think Shaq was just talking about that Tuesday on TNT that he hasn't gotten over it. I mean, the nation saw that.
The worst part about it was
Shaq brings that up every time. Shaq brings that up like every day.
The worst part about it was when he's asking the question, he's like 2 teams. I'm like Heat and Lakers, 4 championships. Okay, 3 with the Lakers, 1 with the Heat. I'm answering the question before the question. I'm like, he's going with the MVP.
We didn't even finish this question, and I answered it.
Sox came in.
All right. I got one more for you. The Philadelphia 76ers, old-time 76ers, had Dr. J on their team. Julius Erving, an amazing ball player. They were going for a title spot, but could never get it until what player joined ranks with Julius Erving?
Oh, he's gonna crush this.
Moses Malone.
Moses Malone. He's gonna
Moses Malone.
ZJ, what are we doing?
What are you thought you were just waiting for them to answer? What?
They answered before I even got to say it.
I knew the answer, but I was just letting E because he's like that's in his wheelhouse. East Coast, his childhood.
ZJ,
like,
get up, man. ZJ, go one more. Go one more decent. Just go one more decent.
That's like that question is like saying Travis Kelce invented the fade. You know what I mean? That's how bad that question was. He was good. He teed that up. That was a wrap, man.
I leaned into it. I was ready. I was like, Moses Malone. As soon as you said Dr. J, Moses Malone, Maurice Cheeks.
Maurice
Cheeks. DJ, ask one more, but before you do that, hang your bangs out the front of your cap, man. I think the strength is in your bangs.
I don't.
Like you do.
I don't have another one. If anyone else does and would like to go, now's your time.
Hey, how many? We got any live viewers out there?
There's none in the
13.
comments.
13. All right, so let's go with let's ship something off. Let's do a little something. We'll get them a little Bet Champ show. Something. If whoever gets closest to the exact minute that Zach let that putty cat out the fucking room. If anybody, whoever's closest to that minute,
to the exact minute.
Well, that it is just the closest. The closest. So if they put in the chat, the closest to letting the putty cat out the room, we'll send them a hat, a T-shirt. We'll get them something.
Ooh, here's a good one that I just looked up.
Right,
Which team holds the NFL record for the longest winning streak of all time?
The Patriots.
No.
Dolphins.
No.
Bears.
No.
Rams.
No.
Chiefs.
Did we say Patriots?
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
in the last. It's in the last like 17 years.
Vikes.
No,
What are we doing?
this is a good one, ZJC. You're giving out ones that are answering.
Because the winning streak had to overlap seasons. That's why
Right.
it is.
Probably, yeah.
So it would have,
23
to be a
game
Super
winning
Bowl
streak.
champ.
Yeah. Had to be a Super Bowl champ, and then it had to be. Hey, what about the Cowboys? The Cowboys Niners. No,
Nope.
the Bills lost 4 straight, so it ain't gonna be them. The Broncos
Nope.
over here naming half the fucking league, Satch.
Well, they got a legendary quarterback. Within the last 18 years
Sure.
of
Green,
damn
is it-
quarterback.
The Colts.
Is it Green Bay?
The Colts, 08 to 09.
Yeah. After they beat who they beat in the Super Bowl? The Bears. After they beat the Bears in the Super Bowl, they went on a run following the next
Yep.
season. They finished that
Bears
season.
08 to 09, 23 games in a row. That was a good one. I didn't even know that. I was the one asking it, but I didn't even know that.
Hey,
There we go, ladies and gents. This is the Bet Champ Show After Hours edition. Thanks for tuning in, staying with us, guys. We're here every Monday and Thursday night, 8 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. And catch us this Saturday, guys. We got the Parlay Show, 10 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. And we got a special guest this next show. So tune in for that one. Should be an absolute banger, guys. We're going to toss out our top picks, combine them for the parlay. We'll talk a little more, get your guys' comments and whatnot. Be sure to give us a follow, give us a like, guys. Again, we toss out free plays each and every day. It costs nothing for you guys, just a follow and whatnot. But this is myself, Sach, Wit, and Big E in the house. We'll go around the room real quick. Any closing remarks from the fellas?
No, I mean, pay attention to free agency. It's going to keep going on. Still a lot of moves to be made. Yeah. Oh, look at Yucker Torque. He came in. Man, you were way late, bro.
Yucker Torque. Come on, baby.
What up, Torque?
We were out here. But no, good to have the guys back. Plays are going on and cooking. Saturday, got the Parlay Show. Got a special guest coming on that one. He couldn't make it last week. But, yeah, I mean, everything's coming up. Socials are doing well. Give us a like, follow, comment, subscribe, anything you can, and let's keep it rolling.
Good chopping up with you guys tonight, man. E's got his picks. I think you still got a couple picks going, right, E? I don't know where we stand with those, but you got the morning picks with the boys. Then you usually got E's picks. I'm going to throw one in there, salt and pepper every now and then. But, man, I appreciate chopping up. A little bit of a cantankerous show tonight. You know, I won't come with pony questions next time, but I wanted you guys to diversify your palate a little bit. You know what I mean? If we're going to make it big and make this money, eventually we're going to want to buy a horse.
You're absolutely right.
Yeah. So who of this group would do you think would purchase a horse to start racing? Should we come up big in this business? I bet it's ZJ. No, ZJ 100% would be like, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna get me a horse.
Yeah, I got Seabiscuit.
I got a horse named Copenhagen and Copenhagen Denver. You know, I could see him doing it.
Wasn't there a horse, Man of War? Like I heard that before. Wasn't there a Man of War?
Man of War, yeah. Didn't win the Triple Crown.
He was a horse, right? Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Big Brown was
Horseradish. They were all in
She looked like a horse.
All right, man. I got nothing, man. Hey, Blackberry Crown Royal. This show is brought to you by Blackberry Crown Royal. I've been searching it down far and wide. Picked up 2 bottles today. It's okay. Not bad. It's a summer blend, you know, but couldn't find it for the longest. But got me 2 bottles today. Savvy. Check it out.
There we go.
And it's approved, WIT approved.
WIT approved. Wow.
Nice. Yeah, hey, man, it's been a great week. I like Monday's show. Today's show was a good show. parlay show coming up Saturday. I'm gonna try to find something to lead off. I enjoy that position, so try to get you guys something on that lead off. Continue to watch us, the boys in the morning with their prop plays. I'll come in the afternoon with some more plays, and we're just gonna continue to win. If you like it, follow, and then next week, get ready, guys. Who came in third behind Nash and Shaq? We're not gonna do that tonight. Just get ready.
There we go, guys. There we go. Here we are, up and at 'em, guys. The Bet Champ Show after hours, guys. Thank you all for all the live viewers and listeners. We got you guys, and we will catch you in the next episode. Peace.